On behalf of the St. Francis College community, I'd like to welcome you all this afternoon to this, our 133rd Charter Day, commemorating the May 8th, 1884 designation of St. Francis by New York State with the authority to award degrees. The day is a tribute to the work that began more than 150 years ago when Franciscan brothers came to Brooklyn from Ireland to establish the St. Francis Academy. So today we celebrate our Franciscan history, our tradition, and our community. Our mission at the college is rather simple, yet I believe powerful, in that we strive to provide a high-quality education at an affordable cost in an environment that embodies Franciscan values, including serving one another, hospitality, and creating a community of compassion and friendship. Our community at the college is a strong one, made up of intellectually curious students. That's the group up here. An impressive and scholarly faculty, some of whom you'll meet, and a passionate and committed administration and staff. We also define our community by our friends and our neighbors in Brooklyn and those other boroughs. St. Francis is very proud of the relationships that we've cultivated and sustained with our educational, civic, and cultural partners. But students are the center of the college and the center of the college community. Today, we're very happy to be inducting 11 of those students into the Duns Scotus Honor Society, along with 2 members of the administration as honorary members. Additionally, we have the privilege of recognizing Chairman Emeritus Thomas J. Volpe for his entrepreneurial spirit and his outstanding contributions to the school. We again join with one of our community partners, National Grid, to recognize 3 of our students who are the recipients of scholarships and internships from the Grid. St. Francis College is also made up of our faculty, administration, and staff, an enthusiastic and loyal group of individuals who embody the Franciscan value of service to others. Today, we will honor 15 of our employees for their commitment and long-standing service to the institution. We celebrate community through mindful and merciful humanitarian relationships. Today, we have the privilege of hearing the words of Father Patrick Desbois, someone who has devoted himself to building community between Catholics and Jews. The work he has done to identify and commemorate the sites of mass executions of Jews and Roma during World War II resonates with our friends and dialogue among different faiths as we strive to instill in our students the importance of service without prejudice. I know we're all eager to hear Father Desbois. So thank you all who are with us. Congratulations to those who are being honored. And now it is time to get to the formal part of the program. Thank you. So Charter Day is the celebration of scholarship here at the college. And there's no better way to illustrate just how important this is to our students than by introducing you and inducting you into the Duns Scotus Honor Society. It's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Duns Scotus Honor Society, Adriannah Rodriguez. In her 4 years here at the college, Adriannah has been involved in a variety of activities and clubs. That's really an understatement. She honestly is here much more than I am. In addition to Duns Scotus, she has been a member of the dance team, president of the Latin American Society, and the founding member of the LGBTQ Club. Each of the clubs has made service a priority, and Adriannah has said she knows no other way in which to live her life. Adriannah is the recipient of this year's Duns Scotus Scholarship, as well as the 17th of June Evelyn Margaret LaQuercia Endowed Scholarship. Additionally, the work of the LGBTQ Club was recognized at Giving Tuesday for its commitment to service. Next month, Adriannah will be graduating with a BS in Health Promotion and Science, and she'll be attending NYU in the fall in the hopes of becoming a physical therapist. Adriannah is a leader and a role model, not just to other students, but to all of us here at the college. We're very proud of her. Please welcome Adriannah Rodriguez.
I'm a little taller than President, shorter than President. Go ahead. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, President Houlihan, Chairman John Tully, Dean Lancaster, members of the board and administration, faculty, honored guests, students, family, and friends for coming together to celebrate the 133rd chartering of this amazing institution. This event is very special, and we induct some of the brightest and motivated individuals that St. Francis College has to offer into an honor society that is weaved into the fabric of this institution. These students collectively are responsible for creating an atmosphere that is inclusive, fun, and educational. Each inductee is actively involved in at least 2 organizations on campus, constantly working hard to bring fun events for the student body to enjoy and learn from, all while maintaining a high GPA. Their service to the college has not gone unnoticed, and their induction into the society is evidence of that. It is an honor to stand in front of so many amazing individuals dedicating to better this community that we all call a second home. This group would not be what it is today without the leadership of our moderator, Dr. Mather. Thank you for always motivating us to keep the traditions of the society alive. Under your guidance, we were able to continue our work to give back to our community with 2 events. First, by pairing up with Bishop Loughlin Memorial High School and their 11th grade honors English class. We were able to provide them with 2 books to read over the summer. We joined them back in September and brought them to the Brooklyn Book Festival to meet the authors of the book that they had just read. The second was in partnership with the Make a Difference Club on campus in participating in the big event, a campus-wide community service day. Our members volunteered to help restore Most Holy Trinity Church in Williamsburg by recycling old books from the adjoining school. I would now like to thank our returning members and ask them to please stand for applause. First, Anthony Agosto, the Vice President of the Duns Scotus Honor Society and my right-hand man. Next, Ms. Phoebe Lee, our SGA President. And Megan Wing, the Scholar Athlete of the Year. Thank you for your constant dedication and your perseverance during this selection process to induct these amazing individuals. It has been a pleasure to work with you. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Dr. Francis J. Green, the longtime moderator of Duns Scotus Honor Society. Thank you for setting the standard of what it means to be a part of this society, and of course, thank you for being here. It is St. Francis who said, "It is in giving that we receive." This quote has been reiterated by many faculty and administration here, and it is truly a value that the college and this society tries to embody on a daily basis. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, the induction of the newest class of Duns Scotus Honor Society. Our inductees will line up as I call upon our moderator, Dr. Mather, our Dean of Students, Dr. Rodriguez, and the Director of Student Engagement, Ruben Gonzalez, to assist us with the induction. We will start with the class of 2019. Quinn Dang. Quinn Dang, yes, please clap. Yeah. Quinn Dang is a double major in IT and accounting. She is the co-president of the Finance Club and SACOR representative of the Accounting Society. She is also a student ambassador, a part of the college choir, a former member of Student Government Association. Quinn will also be the next president of the Duns Scotus Honor Society. Dina Cronin. Dina Cronin majors in communications with a minor in business and IT. She is a member of the English Club and the Troopers, as well as the founder of the Art and Culture Club. Valerie Kaufmann. Valerie is majoring in communications with a minor in French and Fine Arts. She is an editor of SFC Today and part of Model UN Club. She is also a student ambassador and will be the next vice president of the Duns Scotus Honor Society. Valerie is unable to join us today as she is studying abroad in Paris. Yeah, oh man. She will be formally inducted at next year's convocation. Casey Schretta. Perfect. Casey majors in business management and minors in mathematics. She is the president of the Information Technology Club, performs with the Troopers, and is a part of the Accounting Society. Casey is also a member of the International Students Committee and is a resident assistant. Kurt D. Kurt D. is a biology member. He is the vice president of the Pre-Med and Greenhouse Club. He is also part of the Asian Culture Club and a member of Chi Beta Phi and Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society. He has also worked as a peer leader for the Center of Student Success. He will also be attending New York Institute of Technology's Physician Assistant Program in the fall. Courtney Ng. Excuse me. Courtney majors in childhood education. She is an active member in the Education Society as well as a member of Kappa Delta Pi Honor Society in Education. She was the secretary of Alpha Lambda Delta, an honor society in academics. She also has been able to maintain a 4.0 GPA during her 4 years here at SFC. Vuk Kasich. Vuk is a part of the BSMS program in accounting and minors in economics. He is a college ambassador and a part of the International Studies Committee. He sat as president of the Entrepreneur Club, advisory board member of the Center for Entrepreneurship, as well as a member of the Accounting Society and the Finance Club. Milza Miljanovic. Millie double majors in psychology and business management. She is a 4-year member of the volleyball team, vice president of the psychology club, and a member of Psi Chi Honor Society and a part of the finance club. Christina Nicolausi. Christina is a part of the January class of 2017. She majored in criminal justice and minored in history and sociology. She was a part of the Criminal Justice and Sociology Club and a member of the Model UN Club. She is also a dedicated volunteer for New York Cares and has just been offered a job as a private investigator. Christina Rudinsky. Christina is also a part of the January class of 2017. She was a part of the BSMS in accounting program as well as obtained a bachelor's degree in economics. During her time here, she was a part of the water polo team, a member of the Accounting Society, and a founding member of the Eastern European Club. Arbor Seju. Arbor is a pre-med student majoring in psychology. He is the president of the English Club, the treasurer of the Psychology Club, and the St. Francis chapter of Psi Chi Honor Society, as well as a member of the Pre-Med Health Club. Arbor has been able to maintain a 4.0 GPA during his 4 years here at SFC and will be the valedictorian of the graduating class of 2017. And now for our honorary inductees. Naomi Lynn Kinley. So Naomi has served as the director of the Career Center at St. Francis College since 2003. Prior to that, she graduated with the highest distinction in the top 2% of her class at Penn State University with degrees in psychology and business, and received her master's in education administration and counseling psychology from UCLA in California. She has been in various leadership and management positions in human resources, recruitment, counseling, and education administration, including work for Ernst & Young on the Corporate Management Consulting Division, Child and Family Guidance Center, and Forward Mobility Consulting. She is responsible for numerous services and programs regarding SFC students and their careers. And her roles include employer relations, event planning, counseling, recruitment, staffing, budget administration, marketing and advertisement career programs, and collaborations with many on and off campus constituents. She has also been awarded the SGA Administrator of the Year Award twice. And speaking from personal experience, because she's also my boss, this is something she is extremely deserving of. She makes it her priority to support as many clubs and organizations on campus as possible, and always goes above and beyond to assist every student on campus. She is one of SFC's biggest cheerleaders and really treats the SFC community like family. And so like I previously mentioned, Naomi is my boss at the Career Center, but she is way more than just my boss. She is an advisor, a mentor, and the most kind-hearted friend that I have. She has been there for me in more ways than I could ever imagine. And I could never say thank you enough for how much you've been there for me and supported me throughout my 4 years here at SFC. So thank you. Last but certainly not least, Mr. David Lufti. David, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, David attended Bishop Ford High School before coming to Brooklyn Heights to attend St. Francis College. While studying business management under the direction of Professor Gamori and Mulligan, David also worked as a student assistant in both the offices of alumni relations and special events. Upon graduating the college with a bachelor's in science degree in 2013, David was hired by his alma mater as special events coordinator, where he began working on the college's hallmarks events such as Charter Day, Winter and Spring Commencement, and the Volpe Lecture Series. In addition to his special events responsibilities, David also assists with the management of the college's security and concierge departments, manages over 120 student assistants, works with every department on campus, especially alumni relations, development, and athletics, and does an incredible job managing the college's robust facilities rental program, and has increased in revenue and total numbers of spaces rented since his hiring. The recipient of the college's prestigious Franciscan Spirit Award and the recipient of last year's SGA Administrator of the Year Award, David was recently promoted to the position of Supervisor of Community Partnership and Special Events. In a very humble way, David embodies the Franciscan spirit that is ever present on our campus and lives the words of St. Francis: preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words. So, at this time, I invite all members of Duns Scotus Honor Society, past inductees, and this year's members to please rise. As is Duns Scotus tradition, we will recite the Duns Scotus Pledge together. For those of you in the audience, the pledge is on the screen in front of Founders Hall. And for those sitting on the dais, a copy has been provided for you. Together we recite, realizing the aims of Duns Scotus and the responsibility of membership in a society under his protection, we will forever hold close the attributes linked with the name of our patron, in service, scholarship, and individual character we will assume as our way of life in church and in the state. The ideals evidenced in his life, namely clarity of vision, innocence of mind, strictness of responsibility, and service to God. Congratulations to you all. You may be seated. At this time, I invite our moderator, Dr. Mather, to the podium for a very special presentation.
It is my distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce the true champions of the Duns Scotus Scholarship. Albert G. Dumar and James I. Conkell, class of 1957, are celebrating 60 years since they received their SFC diploma as Duns Scotus members. Both Al and Jim continually honor their lifelong pledge to Duns Scotus by taking the initiative to establish and grow this enduring educational legacy. The Duns Scotus Scholarship, which was established in 2007, will benefit the Duns Scotus Honor Society family for generations to come. There are 3 past recipients: Maria Leone, class of 2011, Natasha Edwards, class of 2015, and Adriannah Rodriguez, class of 2017. Today, Al and Jim, to come up? Today they are here to congratulate the newest members of the family on their quest to make our world a better place and present this scholarship to the 4th recipient for the year 2017-2018. On behalf of all those that have helped grow this scholarship, Al and Jim will make the presentation. The recipient is Valerie Kaufmann. As you have already heard from Adriannah, Valerie is studying abroad and is unable to join us today. So I ask Duns Scotus Scholarship recipient and this year's president, Adriannah Rodriguez, to accept the award on Valerie's behalf.
Hi again. So I proudly accept this scholarship on behalf of Valerie. She was very honored and humbled to be selected as the recipient of this year's scholarship and would like me to share a few words of her gratitude. I am pleased to accept the 2017 Duns Scotus Scholarship. As I am studying abroad in France, I am unable to accept the award in person, but that does not diminish the gratitude I have for this honor. I would like to thank Mr. Conkell, Mr. Dumar, and the Duns Scotus community for their generosity. I am a communications major at SFC with minors in French and Fine Arts. Though these varied bodies of study, I have found new passions and have had many amazing teachers who have served as mentors during my time at the school. However, I also have a strong belief in that education happens outside of the classroom as well. Duns Scotus promotes an involved, comprehensive ideal of higher education, an ideal which I try to personally espouse. I have had the opportunity to participate in many extracurricular activities, which include serving as an editor for the new student newspaper, SFC Today, a delegate for the Model United Nations Club, and an ambassador for the Student Ambassador Program. Other activities I participate in, such as weekly volunteering, take place off campus, but embody the Franciscan values of Duns Scotus and of SFC. All of these activities have enriched my education in different ways, and I thank Duns Scotus for continuing to promote excellence, generosity, and responsibility both inside and outside of the classroom. I thank you all again for this great honor.
Can we have one more big round of applause for all of our honorees? It is now my pleasure to introduce Josephine B. Leone, class of 2008, HR business partner, global finance at National Grid, and member of the SFC Alumni Board of Directors, to present the National Grid Scholarships and Internships and the first ever June McGrisken National Grid Scholarship and Internship.
Good afternoon, everyone. It was a decade ago that I actually was sitting in your seat and Dr. Green was giving me my Duns Scotus papers and ribbons and everything. So it's really exciting to be here and be a part of this. It's also exciting to really offer these scholarships and internships to these three recipients who are absolutely bright students with a bright future, not only in our communities, but definitely at National Grid. National Grid has a long-standing relationship with the college, including giving me an internship when I was a junior at the college, as well as some of our senior executives who have gone on to have very long-standing careers. And SFC is also a reliable source of helping us build a very strong pipeline. So today I'm honored and excited to offer 3 scholarships today. So as Dr. Lancaster mentioned, we have the National Grid Scholarship and Internship, which is going to Jimmy Blanc and Barry Margulies, both classes of 2018. And last but not least, as Dr. Lancaster mentioned, this is the first year for the June McGrisken Scholarship. So June was a member of the National Grid community and also a member of the St. Francis College community. So we're very eager and excited to have this as the first time. It's a scholarship as well as an internship. And this is going to Ginal Patel, the class of 2019.
Thank you, Josephine, and congratulations to our scholarship and internship recipients. That's excellent. At this time, I've lost my place in the program. No, at this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Alan Brodowski, Dean of the Sciences and Health Sciences at St. Francis College, and the son of Holocaust survivors from Eastern Europe, to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Brodowski.
It's really a great honor to be able to introduce you to our college community on this Charter Day, and especially during St. Francis College's week-long commemoration of Yom HaShoah. It is indeed a privilege to be in the presence of such a righteous man who fights injustice with such a passion that, excuse me, after all, I'm a biologist, that's part of your DNA. As a child of parents who were survivors in concentration camp, I'm really not alone at St. Francis College, where a number of our faculty and staff have also had parents who are survivors who were murdered during World War II. And we all appreciate the efforts of those who rise up to oppose and fight not only anti-Semitism, but who oppose all forms of mass violence. This past Monday, as we've done for 20 years, we held a program featuring the film, My Italian Secret, that chronicled the efforts of everyday Italian, what I call heroes, who helped Jewish people escape the oppression of the Nazis. It demonstrated to us that there are many truly righteous people who, through much sacrifice and through lives of danger, were able to help their fellow man. Father Desbois has devoted his life to fighting against anti-Semitism and all forms, again, of mass violence. In 2015, he started collecting evidence on the Yazidi genocide perpetrated by ISIS by interviewing more than 110 survivors in Iraqi Kurdistan. Father Desbois, as you will soon see in the movie clip, is the president and founder of the international organization Yahad in Unum, which for the past 12 years has interviewed over thousands of eyewitnesses of the execution of Jews and Romas perpetrated by Nazi execution units, and has identified many execution sites in Eastern Europe. He was also, from 2001 to 2016, the Director of National Service for Relations with Judaism under the auspices of the French Conference of Bishops, and since 2003, consultant to the Holy See Commission for Religious Relations with Judaism. Father Patrick Dubois' research results have been taught at many universities, and his work has been recognized by many international organizations and governments. At present, he is the Brahmin Endowed Professor of the Practice of the Forensic Study of the Holocaust Center for Jewish Civilization at Georgetown University. He speaks regularly at conferences in France and throughout the world, and has been honored with many awards, many honorary degrees. Father Patrick, for all your extraordinary achievements that include Holocaust research, your ability to break down the walls of indifference to crimes against humanity, and for promoting international Catholic Jewish dialogue, St. Francis College is pleased and proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
So, good afternoon, everybody. I promise you not to be long, because I imagine you want to run out because of the sun. First, such an honor to receive an honorary doctorate in a Catholic university is the first one. And I would say that's very moving, because what we do, because I'm not alone, we are 25 full-time in Paris, plus other people in New York, and it has been supported strongly by Cardinal Lustiger from Paris, was Jew and Cardinal, and who said always, you have to go in Soviet Union, you have to go on the ground, because only the poor people remember something. He told me this phrase I will never forget. He told me the memory of Holocaust is kept by the poorest people. And so since 15 years now, we crisscross the roads of Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, Russia, Moldavia, Romania, wherever the Jews have been shot. I'm not alone, and I would like to applaud the people who came to support me, especially Marco, who is the general director, who can stand up. He works with me. Marco Gonzalez works with me since 17 years, and I think when he was born as a child in Guatemala, I would not imagine he would have to support me during 17 years. I would like to applaud the other people of the board, who are Amy and Oscar and Robin, who is directing the Friends of Yarad. I'm not a lone guy, I have a team. So why do we do that? Why a Catholic French priest from Paris who had nothing to do? I was a priest in a parish and priest in a seminar. I was thinking to be missionary in Africa. So if people told me the day of my ordination I would take care of dead Jews, I would run away. And so why I do that? And why my team, why do we do that? So we discovered suddenly, first it was a family story. My grandfather was deported from France to Ukraine as military, and he never accepted to speak. And one day I went there, and I discovered that in the village where he has been deported, they shot 18,000 Jews, plus 25,000 Soviet prisoners, plus gypsies, plus unknown people. And this village today is not Brooklyn, it's a small village. And during Soviet time, people said, we don't remember anything. And they began to speak only after the year 2000, and suddenly they told me the shootings were public. Everybody wanted to see. The schools were closing one day before the shooting, and the director of the school said, tomorrow we kill our enemies, so there's a free day. You can go to watch, and it will be the lesson of the day after. So it was a public, it was organized. I will never forget, I was in one village, and normally was happy to find one old lady or one old man who saw the shooting of the Jews by the German, but suddenly in that village, there were 17 persons, very old, wanted to speak. And in one day, you cannot interview 17 persons. So I organized benches, and they were seated to listen. And suddenly, I began to wonder why so many people. And I will never forget, one lady, she told me, I will never forget, she was Christian. She said, I was a child, and when I saw the Jews walking to the death in front of the Christian, I was thinking it would be the end of the world. So she was seeing, in fact, the death of the Jews like a procession. So I say, where were you, ma'am, when you saw that? And she said, I was in my farm. So I said, could I see your farm? I said, your farm is far away. You couldn't see anything. And she told me, Father, I didn't tell you the truth. In fact, we were children. And our mother came back from the market and told us, you have to suit well because we go to see the killing of the Jews. And she said, the first killing, I got a good place. I could see everything. The second killing, I didn't get a good place. I could see nearly nothing. I realized it was a spectacle. So it took for my team 15 years to understand. Now I teach in Georgetown to 72 students that it took us 15 years to understand. And I said that to the students I saw this morning here. Why, when we think Holocaust, we remember mainly Auschwitz? If you have a microphone and you go in the streets of New York or Paris, you say, when you say Holocaust, what do you think? People will say Auschwitz. In Auschwitz, they killed, it's very sad, 1.1 million Jews. By shooting, 2.4 million. Why nobody remembers the shootings, and these shootings were public? So I was driving during the lunch today here, like a kind of workshop with the students, to say that Auschwitz was secret. It was an isolated part, and everybody knows. But the shootings were ultra-public. Nobody knows. It was so public that during the shooting, there were cameramen from Germany or photographed to make small movie and to show that in the cinema of Germany. So everybody could know. And until now, nobody speaks about that, but speaks about Auschwitz. So I would like to make you think. One person who was present at the lunch today said, we don't want to remember the shooting because it's so frightening, because also we see until the end the person die, and also because it can happen to us anywhere. There are shootings who can happen everywhere. And I began to think, because I work also in Iraq, you can pray for me because next Monday, this very Monday, we will be near Mosul with my team because we do the same research about the killing of Christian or Yazidi by ISIS since 1.5 years. And it's the same. People are shooting there in public. They make video, but you can see this night on internet, you can say ISIS plus shooting, you will have an amount of video. So it's public. We don't see it because it's too powerful. The only people who like to see it are the people who follow them. So I began to think, going to Iraq, I say, more you make killing public, more finally people will try not to think about it. To say, okay, come on, it's very sad, they are killing people in Iraq, in Syria, come on, it's the beginning of holidays, they have to think what to do in the summer, and how to suit, and how to go to the sea, and etc. So, I would like to make you think, we study Holocaust, we teach Holocaust, we teach the way the Germans were killing Jews and Gypsies for multiple reasons. The first reason, these people have been buried, as you say, in Europe, anywhere, like animals. So if we accept to build Europe on mass graves, to build democracy on mass graves, what will we say to Rwanda? What will we say to Cambodia? What will we say to Darfur? What will we say to ISIS? If it was nothing to kill 2 million pounds for Jews and bury them like animals. The second reason is that many families write to us, Jewish families, from America, from Canada, from Israel, from Latin America, Australia, always with the same question: in which mass grave is my grandma? In which mass grave is my uncle? In which mass grave is the rabbi? And so our team in Yarad will reconnect them. We send somebody in the village, and many of them, they go for the first time, say a prayer, a Kaddish, for the dead people, and make a memorial. First time since 42. The first reason is that today there are a lot of people who deny the genocide of the Jews, who say, you know, the Jews will always exaggerate, perhaps it was not true, perhaps they did that to make money to build Israel, and it's very well accepted in my country to say that. So we have to help also the young generation to be able to confront that, because when you are in such a village, you have the archives, Soviet, German, you have the cartridges, you have the neighbors, in one way, you have the evidences. But the other reason, and I will finish by that, is that, you know, we always study that Hitler copied the genocide of the Armenian by the Turkish, and that's true. That's true. They copied the way the Armenians have been killed. But nobody thinks about the legacy of Hitler today. Me, when I go to Iraq with my team, very frequently we go to the central market. And always there are big bookstores in Iraq today in markets, and we modern books. Last time I went in the main bookstore, I found 10 books about Hitler, pro-Hitler. And you know, we are in French. If you want to buy a book pro-Hitler, you try to find a dark bag, and you run in the street that nobody sees you buying that. So the guy, when he gave me the books in a transparent bag, 3 books of Hitler. And I saw that nobody paid attention. Hitler has a legacy, not only in the Muslim world, in many parts of the planet. Nobody will publish a book today about Stalin, who killed millions of people. Stalin has no legacy for the mass killers. Mao has no legacy for the mass killers today. Pol Pot, even not a book about Pol Pot. But books of Hitler, yes. And now in my country, in France, in Germany, in Brussels, in all these countries, we have suddenly people who refer to ISIS, who are shooting one time in Nice, one time in Paris, one time in Brussels, one time in Toulouse. At the beginning we say it's a fight between Muslims and Jews, and suddenly they began to shoot people in a discotheque, and after in the bars, and after anywhere, and the last time they shot a policeman in Champs-Élysées with the equivalent of Fifth Avenue in New York. So, as I said, if somebody happens to me one day, it will not be in Iraq, it will be in Paris. So, because of that, you are not in the same situation that you. We are not protected for the moment. We don't know who will be the next, and where will be the next. It can happen anywhere. It's why we have to work for the young generation. But at least one or another stand up and say, in my life, I heard somebody specialized in criminal justice here, in my life, I want to stand. I will not wait for anybody. There are enough non-profit today. Through internet you can join them. With small money you can help them, or with free time, or through internship. But don't wait people to act in your place when the planet is burning. Don't close your eyes. Otherwise, perhaps you will wake up one day in a nightmare. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father Patrick, both for the work that you do and for being with us here today on this very special occasion. Welcome to our Franciscan family. At this time, we would like to present the St. Francis College Entrepreneurship Award, and for that, I welcome Dr. Louis Pastina, class of 1979, chairman of the advisory board, St. Francis College Center for Entrepreneurship.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to introduce Tom Volpe as this year's Entrepreneurship awardee. Tom has had multiple careers and he shows no signs of stopping. In addition to his early career as a CPA, Tom was a successful corporate financial executive at the Interpublic Group and Colgate-Palmolive, helping to shape their global corporate and financial strategies. But that is only one facet of Tom's distinguished career. He is also Chairman Emeritus of St. Francis College, serving on the SFC board for several decades, guiding this college through several important transitions in its history. He continues to bring life to the student body and faculty through his highly regarded lecture series, of which he is founder and benefactor. This lecture series, which is in its 20th year, has had such diverse lecturers as Sir Salim Rushdie, Russell Simmons, and Lech Walesa. It was through the lecture series that I got the opportunity to spend an afternoon with Tom as we met with Steve Hindy of the Brooklyn Brewery Company. And I have to admit that I learned more about Tom that afternoon than I did about Steve. Tom talked about his hobby of glass blowing right here in Brooklyn at the Urban Glass Center and his love for his family and some of the great trips that he has taken. And I thought to myself, here is a great model human being. It's in that capacity that Tom has given back to the world through his nonprofit board work at the New York City chapter of multiple sclerosis and as a trustee of the Inglewood Hospital in New Jersey. You might ask, why is Tom being honored for entrepreneurship? But you would not be surprised by his complete support for the Center of Entrepreneurship and for his endeavors in the world of entrepreneurial companies like eSmart Technologies. Somehow, in addition to all of his accomplishments, he was able to fit in an MBA and 2 years in the Air Force, rising to the rank of captain before he started his career. But the thing that really impressed me most about Tom was that he embodied everything that was really important in a Franciscan life: a dedication to God, country, and family. His life is a blueprint for anyone wanting to get everything possible out of life. Tom is truly a Renaissance man. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Tom Volpe, 2017 Entrepreneurship recipient.
This has been really an exciting week. We've really covered the joy of seeing how people put their lives at risk to save others. We've learned of the tragedies and the horrors that still exist in this world, from World War II and the Holocaust period up until today, happening in the Middle East. Today, I'm going to move from that range of subjects to talk about the young people that are involved here at the Center of Entrepreneurship. President Houlihan, Tim, Dr. Tully, Father Desbois, friends, a few words on the subject of entrepreneurs, much of which begins with innovation. Innovation is the ability to think and create new ideas. Entrepreneurship is to take those ideas into reality. As you explore ideas, both existing and new, be genuine and know who you are and why you can be an entrepreneur. Question your goals. Be persistent as you proceed. What you start out with is not what you may end up. You must be flexible. An entrepreneur who I greatly admire and respect is a friend, Victor Inceda, who I met at college and was also a fraternity brother. Victor started a small electronics company in his basement with his father. His business developed and manufactured unique ceramic and electrical components that were used in cell phones, missiles, aircraft radar, and satellites. His grew to be a market leader, outperforming his competitors. He asked me to serve with him on his board of directors, and subsequently the company was sold to one of his competitors. He continues as an entrepreneur, building powerboats with advanced Italian engines. Entrepreneurs have that talent to continue to explore and create. I asked Victor for his experience as an entrepreneur. Here are some of his points. Question consumers, listen to your customers. Review successful competitors and those falling behind. Talk with your partners and future competitors. They often will be open and honest to help small, new startups. Go to trade shows and seminars and read trade magazines and newspapers. Once you know the landscape and the issues, your initial decision to start a company, you will be aware of the realities of the markets you are entering. Business and life is continuous learning. Listen, ask, connect, and be humble and receptive. Stay open-minded and ask questions continually, and identify mentors who can provide sage advice based on their experience. Companies work from the bottom up. Your employees, independent representatives, customers, friendly competitors, and others who are directly doing the work are reality-based, and that is what your business must be. Make small moves that will bring modest sales, but allow you to become a player. Experiment and keep trying. Then you can be aggressive in pursuing your goals. Some will work and some will fail. Stay the course, stay focused, and never quit. Today, the role of entrepreneur is most compelling in creating jobs. As an entrepreneur, you also have the important role of being a mentor to those that follow you and work with you. My final word is Godspeed and good luck as you proceed. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Volpe, and more importantly, thank you for those words of wisdom for our students. At this time, I ask President Houlihan to join us on stage as the college honors those employees who have completed 15 and 25 years of dedicated service to our community. The first set of recipients will receive the Pax A Bonum medals. Instituted by the Board of Trustees and named for one of the earliest greetings of St. Francis of Assisi, this medal recognizes and honors those members of the faculty who have completed 15 years and 25 years of dedicated, loyal, preeminent service at St. Francis College. A driving force in the life of St. Francis of Assisi and his followers for more than 700 years, peace and goodness is a simple yet meaningful expression of the objective of Franciscan educators. The bestowal of this Medal of Franciscan Education represents the highest praise and tribute of the St. Francis College community and assures a continuing extension of peace and goodness at the college. For 15 years of dedicated service as a faculty member, Esther Adebayo Aloho, adjunct instructor, chemistry and physics. Elizabeth Albrecht, adjunct instructor, English department. Yakov Bass, adjunct instructor, chemistry and physics department. Anthony Diodato, adjunct instructor, management and IT department. Leonard T. Jordan, St. Francis College, class of 1998, adjunct instructor, management and IT department. Dr. Stephen Lipson, Professor, Biology and Health Sciences Department. Dr. Carmine Nagara, Professor and Chair, Accounting and Business Law Department. Dr. Erez Shokat, St. Francis College, Class of 1997, Associate Professor, Mathematics Department. Simonetta Wiener, Adjunct Instructor, Foreign Languages, Fine Arts, and International Cultural Studies Department. Also not able to be with us, Mark Jalaj, Adjunct Instructor, Sociology and Criminal Justice Department, and Mary Lou Martin, Adjunct Instructor in the Nursing Department. The second set of recipients will receive the President's Award. The President's Award was instituted in 1972 to honor non-instructional personnel. This award recognizes dedicated, loyal, and preeminent service by members of the administration and staff who have completed 15 and 25 years of dedicated service to St. Francis College. The bestowal of this award acknowledges accumulated service, interrupted or not, and pays tribute to the significant contribution that non-instructional personnel make to St. Francis. The President's Award is the highest service honor administration and staff members can receive, and it comes with the college community's grateful appreciation. For 25 years of dedicated service to the St. Francis College community, Sophia Kagan, Library Clerk, Library Department. For 15 years of dedicated service to the St. Francis College community, Jamie Chauka, Director of Enterprise Systems, Information Technology. Also for 15 years of dedicated service, one of my first students, Dean Monica Machowski, SFC Class of 2001, Associate Dean for Student Success. And last but not least, Linda Warbel-Dashevsky, Vice President of Government and Community Relations, Government and Community Relations Department. For my part, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for being here today. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Brother William Boslett, Class of 1970, the college's Franciscan advisor and SFC trustee, who will deliver our benediction.
Loving God and source of all life, we have gathered here this afternoon to celebrate, to congratulate, and to give thanks. We ask you to bless each of us and the many friendships that sustain us. Dear God, please bless this afternoon's honorees in a special way. We thank them for the gifts which they are and have been to St. Francis College. For each of them, for their families and friends, we pray in the words of St. Francis, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you kindly and give you peace. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our alma mater. For the audience, the lyrics are listed on the screen. For the stage party, it's our handouts. Once again, I invite our cantor, Gina Risi, and the St. Francis College Choir under the direction of Michael Kaminsky.